Hello, my name is Joanne Foster, and I am a VIPKid teacher and a Zebra English teacher. Now, today I know that many of you have questions about the new VIPKid Pay Scale changes. And these changes are not new. They were rolled out last year to new teachers, and I remember some of us teachers thinking, I wonder if that's going to happen to the rest of us down the line at some point, and many thought that it would. Now, I started with VIPKid last March, and I loved VIPKid. I was all orange. I had no inclination of checking out any other company. I did 46 classes within the first 2 weeks, and I went to all 13 new teacher workshops and probably attended like 30 teacher workshops over my course of being at VIPKid. Now, another teacher posted about Zebra English, and I thought, I'll check that out and see what it's about, because maybe I can fill in a few of these slots that I wasn't getting my whole schedule totally booked, even though most of it was. And so I thought, well, a few extra slots from another company wouldn't be bad. So I applied with Zebra English and was hired immediately by them, and so excited to have this other company. The only problem was they didn't have any students yet. Or I guess they had students, yes, because they have an app and they have all of these students taking that app. But they did not have the platform ready for us to start taking on students. That was okay. I still had VIPKid. Now with VIPKid, again, I was teaching there, loving it. I was having my first meetup. We had about 20 people at that meetup. That was a local meetup for VIPKid teachers, and just had a great time. So I'm rolling along. We're going into spring is when I started with VIPKid. We're going into the summer about this time in June. And then with Zebra English, a couple classes came in, and then a few more came in. But before I tell you any more about Zebra English, I want to tell you about this pay scale change with VIPKid. Now, according to the material that they have given us, then you have to look at what tier level you are. And then according to your tier level, you will see how much you get paid for the first 20 classes, then the next 20, next 20, and so on. So based on your tier level, then you have, like, if you get $1.20 per class, $1.80 per class. Now, there are some great resources that are out there for you to access and figure out, okay, how much am I going to make based on what tier that I am at currently, and what I was bringing home based on the $2 incentive. $1 for that participation incentive, and then the second dollar was for if you had those 45 classes or more. Okay, so usually if you taught 45 classes or more per month, which I did, then you got that extra $2 extra per class. So that brought my base pay up from $8 per class to $10 per class, which meant that I was making $20 per hour with VIPKid. Now, according to this new tiered pay scale, I looked at it yesterday. And what would I have to make? Okay, now the tiers are based on how many total classes you have taught with VIPKid. So for me, my tier is tier 4. That's how many classes. I have almost 700 classes with VIPKid, and so I'm tier 4. Now, for tier 4, at my $8 base pay, then I would have to teach 238 classes to get that extra $2 like I was receiving before. Now, that's not what I normally taught with VIPKid. As a homeschool parent that has to school my own children, it'd be no different than a brick and mortar teacher that has to go to school and teach their students. Or if you have another job and you're doing VIPKid in the morning, then you can't get that 238 classes or however many classes you need to make that extra $2 incentive. So for me, I was averaging 85 to 100 classes per month, and basically 85. I mean, maybe if I had a weekend that I could put in some extra work, then I would hit that 100 classes, or maybe 90 to 100, but never any more than that. So with this incentive, it's not giving me that $2 extra, and it's bringing me lower. So I think when I figured it out, now I should have written this number down, but I was thinking it went back to like I was earning 18 something per hour instead of the $20 per hour. So that adds up when you have all of these classes. Now it may only be a $40 pay difference or a $50 pay difference, but you need to figure out what that is. Okay, so some of us saw that coming. I also saw that when I looked at the raise criteria, that I would never be able to get a raise because VIPKid requires you to teach 1,200 classes within a year. I could meet all the other criteria. I could be a good teacher. I could have a fully booked schedule according to my schedule and my availability, and be a faithful teacher that did not have teacher cancellations and teacher no-shows, and there was no reward for that. Year after year after year, I could teach, and I would teach, and then I could be there 3 or 4 years still at my base pay because I can't meet that 1,200 classes in a year. I can't do that. I cannot do that and be healthy and sane and still help my family and be what I need to be to my children as a parent and as a teacher. Okay, so that was one other reason that I was glad that I had reached out to a second company. Now, Zebra English may not be for each one of you, and any of you that are Zebra English, you might be like, you're wearing VIPKid, you're never orange. Well, I'm not orange anymore. I still have a student at VIPKid that he priority books me. Some of my others graduated out or stopped the program with VIPKid that I still had there. So now I still have one student that I teach whenever he priority books. So this is my VIPKid t-shirt that I loved, but I don't ever get to wear anymore. So I thought it would be fun today, since this is about VIPKid, that I would wear my VIPKid t-shirt and get to utilize it at least once more, because now I'm pretty much all Zebra English. So you might be thinking, well, Zebra English may not be for me. It may not be. There are other companies out there. What I am challenging you today is to look for that second company that you can add as a backup company. You might have a fully booked schedule, and to take a $40 or $50 pay cut, it's okay because of how much you're bringing in each month with VIPKid, and that's excellent. Now, if you're wanting to know, like I did, and figure out that calculator, how it would have affected you or how it will affect you, then I have a link in the comments, not the comments, I have a link in the description below. Just drop that box down and it will give you a calculator where you can fill in your base rate and then how many classes you typically teach, and you can figure out whether you might gain a little bit or lose. And from what I'm seeing on my VIPKid Facebook pages, most people are losing. There might be some that are gaining a little bit, but most people are losing in this. So that's very hard and discouraging after being with a company and being faithful to a company. So check out your other options. There are many other options out there, and I know OutSchool is one that's very popular right now. I will put a link. No, it's not my personal link, but I will put that in the section below, in the description box below. Okay, so that's one option, and then I know there are other companies out there. If you look for ESL companies, you might find another one that will be a good backup company for you. But just make sure you do your research and check them out. But let me tell you about Zebra English, because I really am excited about Zebra English, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Zebra English as a company listens to its teachers. Now, with their pay scale, that's well, with their pay scale, it's great because it's nothing below $8. You know, I did not refer teachers at VIPKid unless they personally reached out to me and asked me, hey, would you help me get hired on? So I had a few friends that did that, and then it would be discouraging when they would get below $8, and I knew they were excellent teachers. They would rock those demos. They were great at trial conversions, and yet they were only getting $7.50 a class or $7.80 a class. And I thought, That's just discouraging. And then some of them just sit there with no classes, and that's discouraging too. So with Zebra English, the pay scale is an $8 minimum. Okay, so they either give you $8, $8.50, or $9 for their base pay. Now, the incentives are the same as VIPKid. You can add in those $2 extra, and there's no tiered levels at Zebra English, and hopefully it will stay that way. Zebra English listens to their teachers. We can give them our feedback. They take that into consideration. They're a very caring company, and that's what I like about them. And you might be thinking, I haven't heard of Zebra English. Are they stable? Will they last? Will they do what VIPKid just did or other companies have done with their pay scales? And for that, I don't think that they will, because they are always looking out for their teachers first. And they know their teachers have to make a living, and that they are counting on them to make the right decisions for them. So my experience with VIPKid, with Zebra English so far, has been that they are always taking into consideration their teachers and what benefits them. And let me give you a couple examples of that. When they were deciding their raise criteria, and I had some input on that and had just asked Zebra English if they would please consider these teachers that are faithful year after year. And I had told them about the scenario at VIPKid, and that it's very discouraging to teachers who teach faithfully year after year, and because they can't just do these exhausting hours every week, that it's sort of like they're penalized for it. Yet they're the stable, faithful teachers. Not that others are not, but you do have these that are steadily teaching every year at these times, and there's no way for them to get a raise. Well, Zebra English took that into consideration, and guess what? You don't have to teach 1,200 classes in a year. Whenever you reach 1,200 classes, then you are able to get a pay raise. So they are looking out for that faithful, loyal teacher to them. Of course, you have to meet a few other criteria, the same as VIPKid, but at least it's attainable. That gave me hope that I'm not stuck at my base rate. I can get a raise just by being a faithful teacher. Now, something else that they listened to us in was the parent feedback. When they rolled that out, several teachers had suggestions regarding it, and Zebra English listened. They adjusted how they had set it up initially. And it's a great system. Number one, you do not have to get a certain number of feedback for you to qualify for that raise. You do have to have a certain percentage, like 96, 97% of, good 5-flower ratings. They have flowers instead of apples. But guess what? This is the best part. If you get any parent rating less than a 5, even if it's a 4, you can ask for it to be reviewed and invalidated if it's not true. And then, on top of that, if the parent does not leave comments or tags when they rate you anything less than a 5, they rate you 4 or below, then it's automatically invalidated. You don't even have to send in a ticket for it. So that is awesome. Okay, so with Zebra English, they are very similar to VIPKid in the fact that they already have this platform that you just log into and you teach the students. You do not have to do any prep work except just review over the lesson and make sure that you know what the objectives are, how the games are played, and how to conduct that lesson. That's all. It's all prepared for you. Now, the one difference between VIPKid and Zebra English is that VIPKid goes all the way up until like age 18, I guess, like level 7 and beyond, maybe. But with Zebra English, they're only dealing with the younger students. Their students are ages 2 to 8 years old, with most of them fitting in 3 to 6 years old. Now, you might think, oh, that's like doing level 1 with VIPKid. It's not at all. I have 3-year-olds, and they can read sentences. They would read circles around my 12-year-olds at VIPKid. So it's not that way in their app. And that is one thing that I saw with the difference between VIPKid and Zebra English. I had no intention. I loved VIPKid. I loved all the differing levels. I liked teaching the older ones, the younger ones, the ones in between. And so I didn't want to go to only younger children. But once I had been with Zebra English for a couple months, and I was switching back and forth from VIPKid to Zebra, I noticed a difference. I noticed a difference in the prep time that I had with the curriculum. I love how Zebra English's curriculum is laid out, and it follows a theme throughout the whole lesson, and you're working on different vocabulary words, sentence structures, speech practice every time, pronunciation practice every lesson. And so there's a consistency and a flow to it that is very, I don't even know the word that I'm looking for, but just flows nicely for a lesson between a teacher and a student and gives the output that those students need. And that's the other thing I love about Zebra English. There is so much student output. They want the student speaking 70% of the time. So it's not say, repeat, say, repeat. It's that you're asking questions, you're modeling, you're doing TPR, you're doing all of these things to get that student output from the student. And it's really so much fun. And you don't have to worry about how many props you have. You do not have to have secondary rewards. There are stickers built in that you can use as secondary rewards. They like all the verbal praise, the cheers, the high fives, fist bumps, any of that that you can do for the praise and the reward. So it's less prep, and then when you get in that lesson, it's so much more fun because you're focusing on that student output and making everything into a sentence that they do. Now, what I was going to tell you about Zebra English is that when those students come to our classes, they're so much better prepared. That's the difference that I saw between VIPKid and Zebra English. With Zebra English, they're working in this app before they come to your class. So Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, they're working, well, it's like Monday through Friday, 5 days in the app. And they spend 15 minutes in that app. They have several differing subject areas that they go over within the app that take 2 to 3 minutes each. And then when they come to your class, they're so much better prepared. Now, not only do they have an app that they work in, they have supplementary materials that are sent to them where they have like a magic pen that can help them read the material or the words on the vocabulary cards. The app is designed so that they can work independently. And then you have, in addition to those two items, you have a third component, and that is that they work with Chinese English teachers in groups of 50. And they have WeChat groups, and they can send and exchange audio and video messages. And because of that, by the time they add you on for that one-on-one class, then they've had all of this prep work, and so the classes flow so much easier, and they are so much more fun. We have so many teachers that come over from other platforms, and especially VIPKid, and they're like, I love this platform. It's so much fun. And I switch back to VIPKid, and it's like, oh, I'm struggling. And see, I experienced that, and I did not want to experience that anymore. I was having too much fun with VIP. I did have fun with VIPKid, and when the students were prepared, it was fun. But with Zebra, I was having so much more fun, and it wasn't a struggle. You did have some students that every once in a while, you'll get one that maybe they're having a little bit harder time, but not the majority. I mean, it was amazing. Like I said, my 3-year-olds, my 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, they were reading those sentences. They were repeating those sentences or answering, not repeating. Remember, we don't do the repeating. But they were answering my questions that I would ask them. So give Zebra English a chance. If you're looking for a second company, they do have the teacher portal. They have the payment that calculates immediately once you've turned in the parent feedback, and you get paid once a month. So many things are like VIPKid. You get 6 cancellations per contract. Contracts are 6 months. The same with cancellations and teacher no-shows. That doesn't change. But I will tell you one other thing that is different with Zebra English, and that is that you're certified for every level, stages 2, 3, and 4, and trial classes, because trial classes, that's where you get your regular students. Now, this is what's different with Zebra English than VIPKid. With trial classes, if you convert those into regular students, or maybe if there's another regular student that's assigned to you by the system because another teacher couldn't take it after it had its trial with them, then that becomes your student from then on out until they finish the program. Most of the time, once they have a regular teacher, they stick with that regular teacher throughout their time in that one-on-one program. So I've had my students almost a year, all of them. And my schedule is fully booked because I took those trials, I built them into regular students, and then those regular students I see once a week, every week. They do not come more than once a week because remember they have to work in the app. And then they come and see me, and then they go work in the app for that lesson, and then they come and see me. So it's once a week, one-on-one lesson, a 25-minute lesson with a 5-minute break. Do you have to have any minimum hours? No, it's the same as VIPKid. You don't have to open slots, you do not have to teach a minimum number of hours, and you do not have to teach on certain days or at certain times. You can open your schedule just like you do at VIPKid anytime, as long as it's not during those hours that, China says you cannot teach after 9 p.m. Beijing time until 8:30 the next morning. So that's an overview of Zebra English and also the new pay scale with VIPKid. So if you have any questions, if you need any help, I will tell you something about Zebra English too. If you're a VIPKid teacher, it's a little bit harder sometimes for VIPKid teachers to pass than it is if you are just starting in ESL online teaching. And the reason being is because VIPKid teachers are used to the say repeat, they're used to using props every slide, and they are used to saying something 3 times each. And in your demo, you will actually get marked down for those things. Okay, remember student output. So we ask questions to get that student output. We do TPR to get that student output. But we do not say repeat, and we don't repeat 3 times each. Especially if the student gets it, then we move on. Okay, and that's what's fun about Zebra English. So try to find a referring teacher or a coach to help you through the process, because it will go much better if you do. I've had VIPKid teachers reach out to me after they interviewed, and they're so upset because they didn't pass the demo. But it's only because they didn't meet the criteria on the rubric. So, and we're not allowed to tell what that criteria is, but we can coach you in the skills that are important to Zebra English, and that is getting the student output, doing TPR. I feel happy. And then getting the student to do the same by you doing the TPR to get that student output. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you. I know it's gone a lot longer than what I intended, but I want you to understand the differences between VIPKid and Zebra English. And yes, I have another video on that that's a little bit shorter, but basically that was just going over the similarities and the differences. What I wanted to point out with you today is about the pay scale, how it pays off not to have all of your eggs in one basket. And I remember talking with Zebra English about this, and they understood. So they don't expect you to only work for them, and they're okay if you work with 2 or 3 companies. They know that you cannot put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak, or have all of your trust in one company. And they know that we have to do whatever it takes to fill those slots so that we can make the income that we are needing for whatever it is that we need that income for. Okay? So I hope this has helped. Thank you for letting me wear my VIPKid orange and be all orange today once again. But if you have any questions, we do have a coaching group. There are 3 of us mentor teachers that run that coaching group, and we'll be glad to help you. There are ones in there that do our weekly group coaching meetings, and then there are others that are our personal referrals that do our one-on-one coaching sessions, and those are reserved for our referrals since we would be coaching all of the time. There's so many that are applying to Zebra English, and let me tell you this, Zebra English will not overhire. They know what they need for their student base, and they are recruiting teachers to meet that student base, and then their hiring will be cut off pretty much at that point, except to fill slots here and there. So just remember, it's now is the time to get in with Zebra English. And remember this, they are a new one-on-one platform. So even though they've been in a company that's been established since 2012, you will need to be patient and let those trials turn over into those regular students that will build your consistent schedule, that will be your fully booked schedule. But it takes time to do that. It does not happen overnight. All right, that's everything. I hope that this has been a help to you. Reach out if you need anything. All right, goodbye.